The military-political leadership of NATO, by the way, and other Western countries, continues to build up its power potential in the information space. This area, I'm talking about the information space, in this context meaning cyberspace, is considered by Washington and its allies as one of the areas of military and information warfare. U.S. State Department Cyber Coordinator Nathaniel Fick indicated that Washington is working to build an information and communications technology security system in Eastern Europe, as he put it, to combat undemocratic regimes. Of course, the emphasis is on Russia, as they believe, as one of the main threats to American stability in the digital environment, to organize and conduct cyber operations. NATO countries use a network of cyber centers along the perimeter of the borders of the Russian Federation. These are special cyber laboratories. They are intended for operational and technical support for groups from cyber commands or NATO Special Operations Forces, as well as partner countries. They are also used to monitor the information space and collect intelligence data. The largest and oldest of these is the NATO Cyber Defense Center of Excellence in Tallinn. It specializes in cyber operations to disable computer networks of critical infrastructure facilities. What are critical infrastructure facilities? Well, let's talk about this in simple language that everyone can understand. Critical infrastructure includes power grids, power substations, power plants, and hydroelectric power stations. This is everything that provides daily life, electricity, water, and gas supplies. This is what we are talking about. By the way, this applies to a large number of smaller, but no less important things. For example, ensuring the operation of transport arteries, ground transport, air transport, and railway transport. That's what it is. That is, this is the disabling of everything. That makes our life not just safe, but possible. The center's stated mission is to support alliance countries with what they have described as unique interdisciplinary expertise in cyber defense research, training and tactical exercises that spans the core areas of technology, strategy, operations and law. This is formulated beautifully, very beautifully. But the point is what I said earlier. Despite the stated defensive focus, the center annually conducts crossed swords exercises, which practice full-spectrum offensive cyber operations. Is this defense? The next 12th exercise took place in December 2023, which brought together participants from more than 20 countries. The Cyber Center is allocated large amounts of funding for these tasks. In particular, together with the companies in the Baltics, cyber testing grounds are being created that imitate key enterprises, most importantly, in Russia and Belarus. In addition to the aforementioned cyber exercises, since 2009 the center has annually held an international conference on cyber conflicts, and the next event is scheduled for May 28 to 31 this year. All NATO member countries, as well as supporting participants, take part in the work of the center. Who is this? These are Australia, Austria, Ireland, Switzerland, Sweden, South Korea, Japan, and since May 17 last year, this has also been Ukraine. This is the Ukraine from whose territory cyber attacks have been launched against our country for many years, and in recent years also against European countries. This is when cyber fraudsters, criminals, extremists and terrorists withdraw money from the accounts of ordinary citizens and banking institutions. They hack servers. They use information and communication opportunities to intimidate and to cause truly significant damage to the work of social institutions, schools, hospitals, enterprises, and so on. They spread disinformation about impending attacks, mining, and so on. Is this the Ukraine that will be a contributing participant in the cyber conference? Even the member countries of the European Union themselves have already investigated more than one case of so-called cyber criminals from the territory of Ukraine, who fraudulently withdrew enormous amounts of money from the accounts of citizens of European Union countries. For this, no one is going to punish Ukraine, the Kiev regime, either by recalling diplomats or by closing embassies. No, on the contrary, they're rewarded by connecting to cyber conferences. NATO countries hope that the involvement of Ukrainian specialists in the work of the organization will allow the Kiev regime, this quote, to more effectively resist Russia in cyberspace. You know, there is a limit to cynicism, after which real crimes begin. This is what we're talking about. In December 2023, Estonian authorities announced the creation of the Talon mechanism to promote the information security of Ukraine in the context of the war with Russia. Among the participants in this initiative are Britain, Germany, Denmark, Canada, the Netherlands, Poland, USA, France, Sweden, Estonia. This work, as stated, will be carried out in close coordination with NATO and the European Union. There is also a regional cyber security center under the Lithuanian Ministry of National Defense. Its structure plans to create, with the participation of Ukraine, a cyber threat analysis group that will act in the interests of these countries to mitigate the imbalance in the technological potential of the alliance member countries. The launch of a virtual cyber incident support center was announced at the Vilnius summit in 2023. It is intended to help alliance states overcome the consequences of cyber attacks. Western countries join it on a voluntary basis. Its participants are already Albania, Belgium, Spain, Lithuania, the Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Slovakia, Slovenia, and Turkey. The NATO Center of Excellence for Strategic Communications in Riga became operational in January 2014. Officially stated to support NATO's strategic communications capabilities, it contributes to the alliance's coordination processes by providing comprehensive analysis and practical support. Can I ask a question? Can you formulate this in simple words? Apparently, we ask these questions to ourselves, because no one from NATO will answer these questions. But we will answer. In fact, they are talking about the fight against Russian information capabilities, which are presented exclusively as propaganda and disinformation. And we are also talking about overseeing the development and conduct of strategic information and psychological operations against our country. This is a classic story about who NATO countries are aligned against. The European Center of Competence for Cybersecurity and Industry, Technology and Research was created in 2020 in Bucharest. Its activities are focused on developing capacity in the field of innovative technologies and the formation of a European cybersecurity ecosystem in cooperation with Britain, Estonia, and Lithuania. The official inauguration of the European Center for Countering Hybrid Threats in Helsinki took place on October 2, 2017. What was the declared task? It was formulated as building the capacity of EU member states to counter hybrid threats. This is achieved by sharing best practices and providing educational courses and training. Russian specialists and our experts, analyzing the activities of the center, came to the conclusion that this Finnish gathering is carrying out a set of active measures in the military, political, diplomatic, economic, informational, medical and other spheres to cause damage specifically to our country. The geography of cyber centers continues to expand. The alliance is making plans to establish a new similar structure in Albania, thus, in the Balkans, in a region characterized by the presence of a large number of problems created by the West. Another source of hybrid threats may appear. There are also plans to create an international NATO cybersecurity center in Georgia, with the support of the alliance in the EU, in coordination with the United States of America, Britain, as well as Estonia and Lithuania. In Moldova there is a NATO Information and Documentation Center, a NATO Liaison Office, as well as a Cyber Incident Response Center of the Armed Forces of Moldova, created with the support of NATO. National Security Agency Director General Paul Nakasone announced on October 2, 2023 the creation of combat laboratories for artificial intelligence at the European and Indo-Pacific commands. Their goal is to collect various operational data. What is their task? Their task is to develop specialized software and develop skills in working with automated systems among personnel. It is planned to spend more than €1.5 billion on the implementation of the EU Digital Security Programme in the period until 2027. In particular, this money will be used to create so-called operational security centers, which are expected to coordinate actions and improve the ability to detect cyber attacks. And they will also allow establishing a dialogue with business on this topic. We understand perfectly well what this will entail. Under the plausible pretext of strengthening the digital potential and security of states, they are being involved in aggressive actions in the information space. Washington openly demonstrates a self-serving approach to vassal countries, using them as a springboard for harmful activities against Russia. At the same time, offensive cyber operations under a false flag, involving as many partners as possible, are becoming a hallmark of U.S. foreign policy.